comic book reviews you can use. I hope you're ready for a brand new edition of Comic Book Spectrum coming your way in about a minute.
Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Get ready to explore the world of comics, past, present, and future, with our panelists Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall. And now here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
And good evening. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Thursday, June 16th, 2022 edition of Comic Book Spectrum. Hope whether you're watching us live or you're watching us on rerun, you stick with us because we've got some exciting stuff coming up for you. We got some reviews and talk about stuff, and we hope you'll join in the conversation, all right? But first of all, we got to have our attitude of gratitude given out here, and the first one we want to thank our Patreon supporters who their monthly donations make this thing work, all right? And we're grateful to each and every one of them, but we give them stuff in return. And if you want to find out what we give you for your monthly patronage, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris for more information. And this episode is brought to you by Rising Tide Publications, which has got this spiffy new book coming out later this summer called The Terrors, and this is just a mock-up of one of the future covers. But anyway, check it out. We are bringing back the Black Terror, and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. We'll have more information as the summer unfolds. Also, we want to thank our regular sponsor, Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
If you have worked hard on a great book, then you definitely want all the graphics on your side to help you sell that thing. And it's more than just covers. Jeffrey Hayes will talk you through it with his indie-friendly creator prices. And check him out on Facebook. He's got a panorama of great covers that he's worked on in the past. And then follow that up with a trip to plasmafiregraphics.com and ask about those rates. You'll be pleasantly astonished. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And thank you to everyone who supported the show last week in my absence. And right now we're dealing with a heat wave in a very badly insulated room here, but we're going to soldier on through the night, and we're going to bring you some stuff, and we look forward to your comments, of course. And also, one quick note, please tune in tomorrow to Never Mind the Furthermore. We've got a special announcement that is very, very important to you and to the show. So please join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central Time for all the information. And speaking of all the information, these two guys have got it. And here they are now. What's left of the Fab Five, Clyde Hall and Joe D. McPhee. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm here. I'm present.
I am waiting in anticipation of your OnlyFans announcement for tomorrow about never mind the furthermore, because I can't wait to see the nude editions. So
Yeah, damn it, Clyde, you weren't supposed to give the early reveal like that, but let's
no, the reveal is yet to come, my friend.
That's true. If someone plays the Star Spangled Banner, this show is done for tonight. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, real quick, I do want to thank this gentleman, both these guys actually, but Joe for running the show last week and Clyde for being on. Thank you guys for keeping the show going on. I do.
No problem.
All right.
Thanks for being virtual, Brian. If we only had virtual Eric tonight, we could.
Yeah, that's what we
should have. Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, we should have done that. You know, and last week was not the first time I.
We know that the other virtual Brian doesn't work.
Well, as well, he does, but only up to a point. Brian, we love you. Please get better. Anyway. So anyway, let's go around the room. This is gonna be a quick episode tonight with only 3 of us, I suspect. But anyway, let's go around the room. Let's start with Joe, then Clyde, then me. Of course, I've already said most of mine. So Joe, introduce yourself. Oh, and tell us about the final hours of Amazonia number 7. What I do?
You
I'm out of practice here, boy. You take a week off and everything just goes to hell with your reflexes. But anyway, the one, the only Joe D. McPhee getting the respect he finally deserves.
I don't know. Right now, I feel kind of like a Rodney Dangerfield as of right now. But there's the campaign right there.
Yay!
We got 4 days left, a little bit over 4 days left on the campaign. This Saturday, I will be having a countdown show. And to be quite honest, that countdown might be like the last 15 minutes of the campaign because we did start in the middle of that show. And I think we started somewhere towards the beginning, like 15 to 20 minutes in. So when the show begins, you have to be mindful. If you have it back and you wait for the show, you got pretty much less than 20 minutes to back. So you have to be like right on, like Johnny on the spot with the website and everything. Go in there, back, and boom, bang, bam, done. Because 20 minutes into Saturday's show, it will be over, and we'll talk about the campaign, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything right now. As of right now, we're $16 away from 1,600.
Wow, that's great.
We're at 47 We're at 47 backers, and that to me is a record for all my campaigns. I'm up here thinking it's like maybe we hit 50.
Oh yeah,
Good deal.
A milestone to hit as far as backers is concerned, but we're $16 away from 1,600.
Nice.
The next stretch goal is still at 2,000. We still got plenty of time to hit it if people like, share, and send other people to it. I mean, it's a good series. You could get all your tiers and everything. You could get the full set, both digitally and in print, for like low prices. I think digitally it's only $20, and for it printed is $35, which to me is like equivalent of buying, maybe nowadays probably like 5 books out of a comic book store. In this case, you'd be getting 7. And then on top of that, just by backing, because we hit our goal here, you still get the Elaine Haygood Virgin variant. So you get at least 1 Virgin variant, the 1 stretch goal that has been unlocked as of right now. And if we hit 2,000, you get another free variant, which would be the C2E2 2019 Bombshell Comics version of Amazonia number 1. Can't beat that with a stick here, because like I said, my stretch goals is pretty much free stuff that I'm giving away. So that's what it is. But as far as me, I am the president of the CGC Studios. I am the writer, creator of Amazonia, Primetime Saturday Night, and AWF here. And I'm looking forward to the next project that's coming up here, whether it be issue number 8 of Amazonia or the secret thing that I've been working on that, I've been kind of having my arm twist to get it done.
Deadlines are unforgiving.
And the bad thing about it is, like, as owner of the company, How is my arm getting twisted?
I understand so well.
It's the board of directors. It's the board of
Yeah.
directors. They're after you. So.
Yeah, or as I always say, it doesn't matter where you work for yourself or for someone else. The boss is always an idiot. But anyway,
Yep,
so that's it, Joe.
that's pretty much it.
All right,
Unless you want me to take up more time to be like either Eric or Brian.
We'll get back to you on that. Here he is, the gold standard himself, Mr. Clyde Hall.
Hi. It's
Hi.
hot, so the house is open and the cat has found me. So, right in the middle of reviews, you may end up with a Casper appearance. So that's just a bonus tonight. I'm looking at it. I mean, if I let her read the comic, she probably would have a review too. Although she's a cat, so of course she wouldn't like it, whatever it was. But that being said, I'm Clyde Hall, and I'm a self-described elder statesman of geekery because I have loved monster movies and science fiction and space opera and pulp characters since TVs had rabbit ears and tricky rabbits stole kids' breakfast cereals in TV ads. Now I'm an independent author and an award-winning audio drama scriptwriter and a contributing writer at Stormgate Press. Coming soon, and as you can see by my shirt, I'm honoring this project, my contribution to Charles F. Millhouse's Captain Hawkland Lost Adventures 10th anniversary celebration.
Yay!
It is submitted and it's awaiting final approval. So while you wait, this would be a great chance for you to check out my story and all the others in the recently released Stormgate publication, Tim Bruckner's Major Marjorie. It's a new pulp sci-fi anthology, and it's available through Amazon. But really, you should go visit www.stormgatepress.com to see all of the goodies that we have available in the new pulp fiction arena. Oh, and I almost forgot, I like comic books too. Now, how much, you ask?
How much?
Exactly. Have you been a fan for 5 years? 10 years? 25 years? No. More like 55 years and counting. And that's a lot of four-color goodness, ink staining that these durable digits have gone through over the years. So my love of graphic art and the comic book medium is why I also do comic book reviews at the online sites comicsbookcase.com and doomrocket.com. And now I get to review comics with my Rising Tide Network alumni right here on Thursday for NCBD Plus One, right here, right now at Comic Book Spectrum.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Clyde. And
And
I'm
who are
Brian.
you?
Yes, yes, I will. And I'm the sweltering Brian K. Morris, not sultry, but sweltering. And I too am part of Stormgate Press, the award-winning publisher, we might add.
Huzzah!
Yeah. So it's in the other room. It took the night off. Anyway, I have a story in here, Major Marjorie, along with Clyde Hall, Jim Beard, and Tim Bruckner, and Alessia Kemp. Please pick this up on Amazon. You'll be glad you did. Plus, this is the book I just recently won the Pulp Factory Award for.
Award.
It's in the other room. I can't stand up. Anyway,
I saw you were part of an award photo spread, though, where you had
Yes.
4 awards this weekend, all from Stormgate Press. You know,
check it out from Amazon
Yeah.
and books. Anyway,
Yeah.
but no, it was the 4 of us. It was Charles F. Millhouse and myself, Jim Beard, and John C. Bruning of Flinch Books.
Mhm.
And I think we've all won awards, so it was pretty hot and heavy. And plus, Charles was doing that luscious display of all the awards that were strictly for Stormgate Press. Now I'm on, it's kind of a sweep since I also write for Stormgate Press.
Mhm.
So we pretty much took all of the Grandmaster Award, I'm glad to say. But anyway, if you want to find out more about me, check out risingtide.pub. That's the close to my part. Pardon me. So, but yeah, and we had a great time at the Pulp Fiction Convention last Sunday. Jeff Harper, thank you for having us over. Had a blast, got to hang out with a whole lot of creative people, met a whole lot of wonderful people while I was down there. People buying from me and finding their new favorite author, one hopes. But anyway, he said with no modesty whatsoever. And before
You
that, we
can't
were
have a modesty. That just doesn't fit.
yeah, Yeah, the closest I have to modesty is not standing up right now in this very, very hot room. So you're
And when
welcome.
people now say you don't have enough modesty, you just smack them with your award.
Exactly. I might kill him with it. Is the problem. It's got some heft to it. Wait till you guys see it. But no, it's and the Superman celebration was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of friends down there too, and hang out with some very, very creative people. So it was a fun but exhausting weekend. And by the way, I-71 that links Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland, Ohio, has now been turned into an autobahn because it's posted speed. I think it's like I think the posted speed in some places is 55. I don't think I did less than 70 at any given time, except for pulling off to get food. That was about it. So,
And even that you did at 50. So
yeah, we did it at 50. Yeah, and with Calgon, that's a sure recipe for disaster there. But anyway, hope you all are enjoying the show so far. Please give us a like or love if you've enjoyed any part of it or plan to in the future, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. So, but now we have comments. Oh boy, howdy, do we have comments. Parallax Spectre says, I'm only 7. This is at 11:56 a.m. this morning. I am only 7 hours early start this show.
wow.
You can tell I'm in charge again. Things just go to hell when I'm around. What can I say? But Parallax, we're glad you're here. Donna, Carly, Carlene. Whoa, Spectre, I thought I was getting here early by 10 minutes, 7 hours. Good God. And Donna, by the way, Donna and Carl Witzman and Keisha A. Cuff and Kathy Jackson and I will be at the Indie Author Book Expo this coming Saturday from 10 to 4. And we'll have all kinds of great books for you. They'll be at the Peoria, Illinois Civic Center. So please come see us. And hello, Carl Witzman. Glad to see you here. And beat you by a minute, says Donna. And Carl mocks her with his laughter. And Sarah, mwah, just got back from Indianapolis. Her boyfriend took her on a tour of the comic shops there.
Oh.
So damn near broke the bank, but it was so worth it. Someone gave me an old metal Wonder Woman sign. Nice to be with you guys again. Nice to have you here, Sarah. Always a pleasure. And Carl Witzman speaks for us all. Glad you had a safe trip.
Mhm.
And Carl and Sarah, and I hope your air conditioner is still working, Sarah. You'll hear it. You guys haven't heard her air conditioner, have you? It's an old model, kind of like me. And like me, it makes noises when it gets active. It sounds like a freaking airplane taking off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We were listening to it one night in the Uncle Carl's green room. And we heard this rattling and this horrendous sound. And Sarah's and we're all like, what's that? And Sarah's like, oh, it's just my air conditioner. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a cranky thing. And safe and productive, it seems, says Donna. And thanks, I was going to stay put and move in. I don't blame you. Well, you'd only been an hour away from me. That's probably the reason she went back to Charleston. And Donna and Sarah says, yeah, it was off while I was gone. Texted to ask for it to be turned back on about an hour ago. Text didn't show up until after I got here, so the AC definitely sounds like a rocket lifting off. See, it wasn't just my perception of it. So, and Carl says, but doesn't it always sound like that? And says it bugs. And got to charge my phone, but at least I wanted to say hello, Sarah. Mwah, glad you're here. Looking forward to SilCon with you in September, and charge fast. BKM should be here soon. You didn't get away. And yep, just more so than usual for now. And yeah, I had to locate my charger and showtime. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And jumps. Damn, suddenly there's a loud sound in my ears. It's probably Sarah's air conditioner. And don't forget to like. Thank you. Please give this show a like. It helps us out so much. And poor Donna, awakened by the actual show. Sorry we scared you, hon. And yeah, right. Wait till Halloween. But anyway, Carl Witzman has liked the show. Thank you, brother. Looking forward to seeing you. And your books are in Calgon already, and liked and shared. Donna has one-upped him. Let's see what Carl does now for the show. And good evening, guys. Teresa Dunn. Mwah, glad you're here. Hope you're having a great evening and staying cool. And Lissy, hello, darling. Mwah. As you notice, we're depleted of at least one of our members. We hope you'll stay around anyway, or you might stay longer. Who knows? And Teresa and Lissy from Donna. And whoop, says Sarah. And William A. Bowe. Hi, Brian, everyone. How are you guys? Loved everyone. Loved you back at you, brother. Mwah. Glad to see you here. and everyone's saying hello. And BKM, I like the shirt. Thank you. This is it's a dark color, but it's a very light material and will not show the copious amounts of sweat that I will probably produce over the next hour and a half. But anyway, and Sarah's saying hello, 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 Ace. Anyway, Ace Bonnie, thank you for being here, brother. Glad to see you. And Ace, we're pouring in here, and I love it. And William R.L. Stein is coming out with a new horror comic this September. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Very cool. I will probably be looking for that. Everyone saying hello, 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 and good evening, Spectrum. Nicholas Anthony Tucker. Nick, it's good to see you, brother. You were fantastic on Nerd Bacon this morning on the Raging 2 channel. Also, don't forget he is on Friday nights on the Historical Fencing Guild on YouTube at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, and he's also got his own entertainment channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to that. And don't forget, also, while we're plugging, get out the power strip. We're getting the plugs out. Our friend here has a show on Saturday night. Please check it out at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, because it's always informative from the desk of a small press publisher. And wow, the Fat Five is dropping fast. Yeah. Yeah, we may have to call in the reserves on this one. And feet picks. Ace, I don't know how to break it to you. This is not that kind of show. Yet. Anyway, if we can hit 1,000, I'll show.
I'm just amazed of the emphasis on yet.
Joe,
well, he's got that announcement tomorrow on Furthermore.
That's it. It's going all tomorrow. That's what I tell you. But no, I am willing to pander to a certain degree, and as I try to think of the boundaries of my behavior. Yeah, and going blind looking for them. Anyway, Ryan Permisson is here, and we are glad for that. Check out the Nerd Culture channel on YouTube. What's up, CBS crew? How are you? We are awesome. Hope you are the same, my man. And you know what books I read this week?
Yes, I do. Because it's on Goodreads, and even despite of the one typo that he had, it was a great review of Jack Kirby's Forever People.
Yeah. And if you review Jack Kirby books, you got my love forever. That's for sure. So yeah, definitely. And Ryan, we're really proud of you for leaving those reviews. Whenever you read a book, you should always leave a review because it helps the author so very much. And nice shirt, Clyde.
Thank you. Well, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it really matters to your readers.
I got a poster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See? And no respect. I know. But I'm used to it. Anyway, oops, better. Hello all. Hello, Nick. How are you? And everyone. And I'm all set. Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Aces.
He is. He's aces with us. That's for sure. And there she is, the beautiful Keisha Akov. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, darling. Mwah. She specifically asked, God help this girl, for Saturday's Indie Author Book Expo at the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria, Illinois from 10 to 2. Not that I know anything about it. She specifically asked to sit next to me.
Oh.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yes, so it'll be good for me. She has taken leave of her senses. I'm not complaining. Anyway, why do people wait until the last minute? Wow, says Carl. Yeah. And secrets. That's right, Matthew. Glad you're here, buddy. Yeah, we got secrets, and you'll hear them tomorrow when we launch the show at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central. And secret things. And I could review webcomics if y'all are desperate. You may still get that chance, young man. You may get the call. We've just had a comment dump. Yay! And and I'm gratified. I saw this morning on Nerd Bacon, Luke Stone was having trouble because he was having comment dumps. And for the longest time, people thought I was making that up.
Until I experienced it, and I hope it was like, no, he's not making this stuff up. It does happen.
It does happen. It means you got a great audience, is what it means, right? Because they're contributing, and that's what we love to see. And you can read all my good reviews if you want. One of these weeks, we might just bring you on the show. You can read it to us.
Yeah.
And Donna and Matthew saying hello, and I hope he wore pants to accept those awards at least.
Wow, he's like topics way behind.
Oh, now you tell me. Okay. Anyway. And he's Bonnie, the master of the graphics there. BKM not wearing pants. That's where they are. It's hotter than hell up here. That's why we're not. That's why, pretty much what you see is what I get. Anyway, and right, Ace, let's hope everything stays cool tonight.
He is wearing pants. It's just the Emperor's new pants.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I need my my birthday suit taken in quite a bit. But anyway, BKM in the billiard room with his award sounds like Clute. Yeah, and he's being beaten to death with his award by Colonel Mustard in the library. Nick Tucker says Brian is extremely relaxed tonight for some reasons. Because, Nick, I'm 100% committed to tomorrow. That's why. Charles F. Millhouse, the award-winning Charles F. Millhouse. How you doing, brother? Clyde, sporting some Captain Hawkland love. Go Crusader. Yeah, he's part of Team Hawkland now. So, yeah.
We've already been pitching Major Marjorie, too. So
right, and all God's children should have a copy. In fact, if you go to the Peoria Civic Center,
I'm not in the club yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We will recruit you. Don't worry. But yeah, if you come to the Peoria Civic Center this coming Saturday from 10 to 3, I will have copies that you can purchase for your very own and be one of the cool kids. And everyone's saying hello and hi. Hey, Charles, they've been talking you up. See? We told you. You won't believe us, but yeah, it's true. Sarah says, you're an addict when you save enough money to purchase at out-of-state comic shops, and they get dollar signs once they see what I'm saying. Yeah, you can see them now. Reel her in, which no one can do. But anyway,
it's always a bad sign once you get done shopping that they close up for the day. Never good. It's early.
Yeah.
It's even worse. They close up shop. As soon as they turn the lock, it's like, bring out the women. Why? Make it rain. Make it rain.
That's our girl, Sarah. And Charles Millhouse, I don't even have to be here, Carl, and I'm here. This sounds like a Kevin Smith movie all of a sudden. Good Lord. And Hojo, hail chat, finally catching this live. Hojo, hail Hojo. Glad to see you here. It's always a pleasure to see your smiling icon there. Or at least I'm assuming it's smiling at us. But anyway, it's good to see you here. It's always great to see Grant Lankard too. Good evening, kids. Good evening to you, my friend. Check out Beowulf. Get on this man's get to what is it, monarchpublishing.pub or .com, I believe it is.
That is correct, I think.
Okay, and then sign up for his newsletter. It is always interesting. Everyone's saying hello, and hey, saying hey. And we are now caught up with the chat. But please keep those comments coming because you're a very important part of the show. And see, Grant's saying hello to everyone else. It's a friendly atmosphere. That's one thing I love about this. Everyone seems to get along for the most part.
Yeah.
So anyway, Joe, do you want to start with our choices for this week's selection?
Yes, we're going to have to because we back up to 4.
I got this choreographed in my head.
4 different books. So welcome to Comic Book Phone.
Hi.
Please choose your option carefully because the options have changed. For Captain Carter, number 3, please select 1. For Something's Killing the Children, issue 18, select 2. For Hit Me, number 2, please select 3. For Red Sonja, Red Sita, number 1, please select 4. Please choose now.
Ooh. Wow. I have 2. In mind. That's not my vote. But anyway, while everyone's making up your mind, please leave your number in the comments. All right. And Donna is starting with a 4. And Grant Lankard is saying, don't forget to like. Okay. And Carl Wisman says, no toxic fandom here, only toxic heat. Tell me about it. And Carl says, hit me. Ow, he says. Donna took that way too literally. And Matthew McHale says 4. Grant Lankard says 4. So far, the 4s seem to have it.
I think I'm going to go with 4 because the idea of a Red Sonja legacy that interests me. So that'll be my vote this time.
It was one of my 2, and I will throw in with that as well. All right. So Sarah Donna, Ace, anyone else?
It
Feel
would
free.
be Sarah, Donna, Lissy.
Charles Lissy.
Yep.
Ryan, if you're
Yep,
still
Ryan.
here. Keisha. Teresa, William. And I think that's hold on. Parallax Spectre, if you're still here after 7 hours and a half and 14 seconds, please cast your vote now. Okay. And let's see. And Ace Bonnie has voted. He's going with the 4 as well. So please keep your votes coming in. And would you like me to go ahead?
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. And so I will take up the whole screen as my rampaging ego demands. Now, and here we go. Ace Bonnie is now. Roll call. I love it. And Grant Lacker says, I'd rather be too cold than too hot, Sarah. Being too hot is not an issue with me. Oh, you mean too warm. Anyway, and we got it. We need game show music. Well, hold on here. Now I'm going to turn this down because I know how loud this crap can be. Oh, here we go. Hold on. No. Daydreaming?
No.
Nope. Feeding the ducks. Okay. Rock. Maybe not. Night driving.
The Game Show Network for sedate people. That's Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
It's like this is the first song that came to my mind when he brought this up. So we got to play a few seconds on it, and then I'm going to cut it off.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I hate YouTube. All these stupid commercials and all.
Here we go. Into space. That's close, but I like feeding the ducks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that we'll feed the ducks.
That's the theme song of the first theme song for Wheel of Fortune that they can't use anymore.
Oh.
And it's my favorite one at all because everybody like, oh, we like all these songs. Like, no, the original one that was done by Alan Thicke, which they can't use anymore.
Yeah.
Was the prototypical theme song for Wheel of Fortune. It will always be that way for me.
Yeah. So anyway, Matthew, here's some music for you to take the pain out of my review. And anyway, that means Cuddle Body Heat Pile.
Wow.
I like how Sarah thinks, and wake Carl up. Someone no feeding the ducks. That's a euphemism. Anyway, and Sarah and Joe, you're welcome to join the club from Charles F. Millhouse. You just got the invite, Joe. But anyway, we invite you to stay tuned for another 5 minutes or so because we've got some great comic book reviews. But first, we're going to review some magazines. Now, I know there's some Shadow fans among you. So check out the latest issue of Roy Thomas's Alter Ego 176 because it has an extensive article on the Shadow comics of the 1940s. Some written by Maxwell Grant, some not. But anyway, check this out. It's always fun, always informative. And also, that came out just this week is back issue number 135 that features silver characters like the Silver Surfer and Silver Sable and Silver Heels, Silver Banshee. Check it out. Lots of art. Both of these magazines are filled with all kinds of great art, all kinds of great information. And if you want to learn more about this comic hobby of ours, Two Morrows has got you covered. So please check out back issue, edited by my friend Michael Urey and Roy Thomas's Alter Ego, who is also my friend. And so let's review the other. Let's see. Here we go. Ace Bonnie says, Sarah wants body heat pile. I'm in or on the pile. There we go. Sarah's liking the fun here. And Ace Bonnie has a request. I was thinking that too. I need to kill the music. Oh, it went back up to where it was the default. I'm going to. Let's get up just a little more. How's that? I think it's better. Anyway, thank you, Ace, for mentioning that. So anyway, while we've got the music down a little, let's review some of the comics we picked up this week. And this is a pretty good week. And I'm not counting the package I got from Randy Zimmerman just today. So anyway, let's start out with Superman, Son of Kal-El, because I know you expect a damn Superman review out of me. So anyway, Superman is awesome. As always, Tom Taylor knows how to craft a really good tale, and we got a vote for Charles Millhouse number 4 there. Okay, Joe?
Okay,
All right, thank you. Anyway, Superman, Son of Kal-El explores how you can evade Lex Luthor's office and not be Superman or Batman. And also, we have brought back, of course, we have Crypto in this issue, so you know it's good. It's just one cool thing after another. And in this one, they find out that Henry Bendix, the leader of that small nation that's been sending all those monsters after Kal-El or John Kent, it turns out he's got an ally in our government. And Superman confronts him. How do you stop a senator? And this also ends with a little bit of a twist that's really, really fun. New art team on this. Cian Tormey and Ruri Coleman. And the art is beautiful. It's very, very nice. Very good storytelling. And, of course, Tom Taylor's scripting is, as always, fantastic. This one is a 10 out of 10 for sure. I dug it. Next one is, now the Federal Trade Commission makes sure that there is truth in advertising. So Archie has a new one-shot called The Best Archie Comic Ever. Now, unfortunately, this is a one-shot, but it has return of characters like Pure Heart the Powerful, in a story by Fred Van Lente and art by Tim Seeley. That's really, really good. And then we have Jughead the Bulgarian and Operatives, where Betty and Veronica are agents of the CAI, the Central Agency for Intelligence. But yeah, we've got superhero action from Archie, classic Pure Heart the Powerful, and then Jughead the Barbarian with barely dressed Veronica and Betty. Don't tell me that's not been in your dreams, guys. And also the Betty and Veronica as spies. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. All ages stuff done in one. And Archie is releasing a series of these one-shots every month to celebrate Archie's 80th anniversary. And he doesn't look a day over 15 as all. Well, it has to be 16 because he drives. But anyway, another 10 out of 10.
Brian,
yes.
Question.
Yeah,
in the CAI story, do we get a crossover with the man from Riverdale? Remember that?
No,
we should.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. And I thought about that. I think that would have been great. No, Archie does appear, but unfortunately not for that. And anyone remember Little Jinx from the old ones? Okay, she's coming back next month.
Oh, nice.
August 17th. Get your comic monger to save that issue for you. All right, and then let's see. Oh, and I've got another one from the shop. We Ride Titans number 4. I've been enjoying this book. It's a story about the not too distant future where kaiju, giant monsters, attack various cities, and human operated pilots are taking care of these cities whenever possible. Well, there's been a bit of a struggle with the one in this one municipality here, and we get a little more into the dynamics of the family that run the robots. And there's a nice little twist at the end that we're not going to do any spoilers on you, but this is We Ride Titans number 4. This is definitely from Vault Comics, definitely worth checking out. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 simply because It's continued, and I want the story right now. Damn it. And then we want to give, since Charles is here, we're going to give a little shout out to the Family Orbits. This is a cute little comic book by Charles Davenport. And it's set up for a lot of great family adventures here. It is from Stormgate Press. Go to stormgatepress.com and please check this out. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. And kudos to Charles and his taste in publishing. And now here's the one. And I see that he has arrived because I told him I was going to do it. Scott, welcome to the show. Glad you're here, buddy. Reason why, yes,
He's awake. Yay!
hey, clap for my buddy there, because I gotta tell you, if you're a fan of my show, wrong way, you've been looking at Scott's artwork. Of course, let's see if I can get that over here. There we go. Scott did that.
Oh, so
nice.
it's a Julie Newmar for you.
Yeah. And who wouldn't want to do Julie? Never mind. Anyway, Scott has a wonderful publication. Basically, he put out a book about 42 years ago. I'm going to move this back here. There we go. I just turned off my light there. Anyway, all right, there we go. Scott put out a book called Errantry 42 years ago. And you practice your craft as much as Scott has, and Scott has worked for Marvel, DC, Archie, Golden Books, a whole bunch of great outfits. And he's one of my friends too. He's a great guy and talented, really crazy talented. And he decided to redo that comic from 42 years ago with current talent, with his current level of talent, and it's sweet. If you like Robert E. Howard or Fritz Lieber or Lynn Carter, any of that good sword and sorcery stuff, you're going to want this book. It really is terrific. And here's Scott's contribution. A little barbarian action there. And Scott, we're glad you're here, buddy. Lots of great fight scenes. Scott's good at this stuff. And you want pinups? We got pinups. And a text story. Ascension of the Unicorn it's a fable. Written by Scott Rosema and unicorn art by Susan Shorter. Jack Snyder has a contribution in here. And this is just a fine, super fine package of entertainment here. Again, if you like the Conan the Barbarian, King Kull, Thongar, any of those classic stories, this is a book you need to own. I am really proud of Scott for this one, and I'm really looking forward to the next issues of this, because this reminded me how much fun I had that day I was in a drugstore in Alexandria, Virginia, and I picked up that first issue of Conan the Barbarian by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith. This is a wonderful book. It is $6 cover price or suggested retail price, and my postage was $6. But if you want a copy of it, hold on a second here. First, you gotta wait for Brian to get to it. Check out Errantry #1 by Scott Rosema. Send him a Facebook direct message to Scott for your copy of it. Available right now, and mine's signed too, so it's going in a place of honor. And Scott, I'm very proud of this book. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It is that good. If you like barbarian stories, and it's not gory, it's not, you saw the pretty girl in the negligee, but you're not going to see anything that couldn't go on primetime television. Okay. So Scott, my brother, you did a fantastic job on it. I'm very proud of you. And we are excited to get the chance. Scott, I tore into it the minute I got a hold of it. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Put me down for a subscription to all of them, buddy. And thank you for being here. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope you found something you might want to read. Check out your local comic monger. Please go to Stormgate Press if you want a copy of Family Orbits. And definitely check in with Scott Rosema on Facebook to pick up your copy of Errantry #1. I just love the title. So anyway, thank you all for bearing with me. We'll kill that music. It's starting to sound like a porno movie in here. So anyway, that is our reviews for the night. So I've left everyone speechless. This is interesting.
No, not really.
I kind of wonder.
I'm just getting things prepared on my side.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
And
Brian.
here we go.
Brian, how did the Pure Heart return, the comics, Archie superhero comics? How did that compare with that the Fox issue? I mean, was it anywhere like that as far as quality, or?
I like this one a little better.
Oh, okay.
I really did. I mean, I did enjoy the Fox
Mhm.
quite a bit, but this one hit all the right notes of the original Pure Heart the Powerful for me, because I remember picking those up when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And this was done in a more contemporary storytelling mode,
Mhm.
and it lost none of the charm.
Cool.
And it's a, God, how many pages was it? Like about 5 or 6 pages. And 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 8 pages. And there's all kinds of jokes in here, including a few that are a little bit meta. But yeah, all the stories in there were quite fun. I think Pure Heart was my favorite, and followed by the Jughead one.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed them all. So anyway, so Ace Bonnie told me to turn down the music. Now he wants to turn back up. There's no pleasing some people's kids, I'm telling you. And that music is sleep inducing in the heat. Well, not if you're prepared, Carl. Anyway, Sarah votes for number 4, and Donna's dancing to the music. Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Getting her Johnny Rivers on, and Grant Ryan Laker's going to drink some beer. We're glad we can help out with that. And barely dressed Betty and Veronica. Now we got Carl's full attention back.
Yep.
You bet. And they get the bird, if that'll help you. But anyway, barely dressed Veronica and Betty, you have my attention, says Carly. I'm going to turn the Witzman household, the Carlene Witzman household, into family of comic readers yet. Everyone's laughing. And Scott, thank you for being here, brother. Everyone's saying hello. Scott, barely dressed teenagers, everyone wakes up. Yeah. Got to give the audience what they want. And Donna's dancing around the newcomer. And yeah, Scott's a great guy. We all like him. And yeah, wiping the sleep from my eyes. Hi, Donna.
I called it.
That's true. And teenagers equals jailbait. Watch yourself. That's right. 16 will get you 20 in most states. And Sarah, I'm imagining them at 21. Good idea, Donna.
There you go.
Yeah. And Scott, I hope the review was to your liking, and I hope folks honestly check out Scott on Facebook. He's got a load of art on his page there. Also, check out, he's a frequent guest with Randy Zimmerman on the Region 2 network. So please check him out. He's always fun. And Scott, one of these days, you and I are going to get on a show together, and I believe that's covered in Revelations. But anyway, definitely interested. Looks like really good stuff. Thank you, Matthew McHale. I appreciate that. That is one of the purposes of the show, in that we want you guys to gain a deeper appreciation of what's out there as far as comics go, and to grab some of this stuff that maybe you didn't know about. Because between the 5 of us, we check out some really weird stuff. And Scott says errantry means in search of nightly adventure. That's right. And that's nightly, Knight. Nightly adventure is something that we generally don't review on this show, but but we do it anyway. And anyway, Sarah says, yeah, Donna, the wording of someone needs to be changed. That sounds creeperish. I'm enticed now. And thanks, Matt, says Scott. And Matthew says, Scott, I just messaged you on my Facebook. Matthew, thank you very much, my man. Appreciate it. You're going to like the magazine. I'm serious. And it's good stock on it, too. It's not like the, flimsy stuff here. This is almost close to cardstock.
Ooh.
Definitely cardstock level for this, and it's shiny paper, so it's good. And if you get about 300 of these in a comic box, it'll build your muscles like Popeye. But anyway, it's great stuff. Good work, Scott, and thank you again.
Wait, you said build your muscles like Popeye?
Like Popeye had those forearms.
Forearms, yeah.
Don't panic, man. Don't panic. I am in control. I'm the Alexander Haig of broadcasting. I'm in control. Anyway, that was our review. Thank you guys for sitting through that, and thank you for the porno music in the background. And now, Joe, I'm prepared to look absolutely astonished when you reveal which comic won this week's poll.
Well, tonight's comic is a fan favorite, and the winner is Red Sonja Red Seat, the number one.
Yay!
I mean, it was a landslide. I don't know what has been up with these landslides as of late.
By Crom.
And Scott says that's great, and Carl says Sarah's making creeperish sound bad. Okay, follow that now. Oh, we need to put it.
No, I just withholding my comment for that.
Well, it seems to be more than I can do. But anyway, anyway, we have a disclaimer. We all have disclaimers now. The Amazon Driven, as voted upon by our audience viewpoint of Joe D. McPhee, does not reflect those of the cast and crew of Comic Book Spectrum, but you can't leave the room until it does. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. In other words, you can't leave the room because this book ain't going to fly. So we got Red Sonja Red Seat, the number one, published by Dynamite. Written by Mirka Adolfo and Luca Bellingino. Illustrated by Valentina Pinti.
Joe Bob.
I don't know if you're about to add an extra syllable to it, but it's Pinti. Pinti. Colored by Shakira de Francia. Lettered by Jeff Eckelberry. And the main color here is Jungwin Yoon. Now, mind you, I think I got the version variant of this one, the non-trade dress version. Actually, give me a second here. I can tell you right now. I end up getting multiple copies of this particular book, and there goes the washi tape.
Oh,
did I mention we're on live?
There's the blank sketch cover, because they did a blank sketch cover version. So if I decide to draw that, I draw a Red Sonja cover, I can.
There you go.
And then where is it? Here it is. Here it is. No, it's the other one that I had. It's the Linux one that I bought. That's the non-trade dress one that I got. Nice. For Red Sonja Red Seat, the number one, which I thought was great. So now, for those who don't know, Red Sita is kind of sort of like a adoptive daughter of Red Sonja. When I say adopted, I mean not like in like mother daughter, but Red Sonja eventually takes her up under her wing, and she learns from Red Sonja. So this is the beginning of like her adventures, and in the very front cover, it starts out with "No, O Prince of Red Sonja, warrior woman out of the mystic." It's like Hyrkana, and I ain't going to attempt it because it's been a while since I actually pronounced it out loud. Forced to flee her homeland, and because she spurred the advances of a king and slew him instead, she rode the west across the Turian steeps and into the shadows mist of legendary and adopted a daughter. And that daughter is Sita. Uh-huh. So, issue number one starts her off in the middle of a quite interesting adventure. And it shows that, she's on an adventure, so, staying at once upon a time, there was a kidnapped princess, and, kind of like the storybook type of thing here. And, the noblemen and knights and everything. But that's Sita breaking into the window with the dove flying off and about to fly off and everything. She has an awkward landing and whatnot. And she's there to stop a human sacrifice. So they're about to get ready to sacrifice this one princess and everything to this mystical god and whatnot. And I forgot about all these extra ads here. And
Samurai
yes,
Sonya.
and yes, there's about to be a Samurai Sonya.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting for those who want to get into that aspect here. But we're not here about Samurai Sonya. We're here about Sita today.
Yes. Okay.
So why did it skip some pages? Yeah, that's what I have to say. So she's about there to to stop the human sacrifice and everything. And then she comes walking up, and then the mystics are up here. It's like, why are you here? This, that, and the other. And she, being, kind of like the adopted daughter of Red Sonja, you know how she is. She's going to talk a lot of smack to these people and talk about telling them that they're wrong, and they call her a blasphemer and everything until she powers up the sword. And once she powers up the sword, it's like the mystics was up here like, whoa, we can't fight you. That's real magic. And you kind of like, whoa, hold on. Red Sonja actually, fights against magic and everything, and she rarely uses magic. So why is Sita all of a sudden they afraid of Sita? Because she used a particular sword that has that incantation with it. So these priests and everything was like, okay, you're far more powerful than us here. We see that you have real magic. Go ahead and take the princess and everything. And then, out of nowhere, there they are. She's riding her back to the town that she's from, and then she has weeping eyes and everything. It's like, why did he do this to me? It's like she's actually telling Sita what actually truly happened. And then the bird that was there in that temple that they were about to do sacrifice is actually following her. And she's like, shoot, get lost, get away. And I believe she started to put two and two together. So in the end, it's like everyone lived happily ever after except for one person. And that is Sita. So Sita is back in the town and whatnot. She's, doing her normal rounds. She finally collected her pay for bringing back this young lady from her death and everything, for being humanly sacrificed and everything. And then this one other person from the east is up here. It's like, oh, it's like, I owe you, so many pieces and this, that, and the other, talking about another deal that's been going on. And she's like, oh, I'm working on telling you, vicious old man, here, everything down to the last coin. And she pays him off and whatnot. And then she goes, if you paid a little bit of attention to the very last thing, and this is where it kind of gets thrown off. If I could get it in focused here. After she pays off her debt, she goes gambling. So I'm up there like, this has been kind of like a weird tale, but it's interesting nonetheless. So she's out there, she goes gambling, she's at the tavern, she's living it up and whatnot, drinking, getting into bar fights and everything. And then she wakes up the next day, it's like, that was interesting. That's like a lot. It's like, where's my stuff? It's like she's up here. It's like, okay, let me go ahead and check out of this place and this, that, and then she turns around. It's like, oh, and then she finds dude in the bed with her. It's like, who is this? That's one of the stupid that she went in. It's like, who is this? It's like, oh well, it doesn't matter. I got my clothes on. I'm out. Pretty much. It's like, it's raining outside. It's like, okay, fine, I'm out. I don't care. So as it is raining outside, so the scene shifts over to this one boat and this one captain and whatnot, and they're out there doing their thing and whatnot. And the captain tells them about the mission and everything, and they set off and everything. So there's Sita on board with them on the actual ship, but she's reflecting back to what was stated to her before they took off, and notice that the bird is still following her. So that's going to be kind of like the key thing here. So she looks out the window and it's like, oh, the bird again. It's like, why is the bird haunting me? That bird serves a purpose, but I won't say just as of yet. So now the bird kept following her. And it turns out that the bird has a message. She reads the message. And then she tells the captain, it's like, hey, I can't go with you. There's a change of plans. She's out there on a rowboat. She's heading to whatever destination that was given to her on the message and whatnot. However, the people who she's with that's going along with her, they end up catching one other person out there, and they brought them on board, and then he's spouting off about, oh, the owls are crying, this, that, and the other. We don't know why, we don't know how, but it is crying, this, that, and the other. And then out of nowhere, don't worry about the ads, we have a kraken.
Oh,
Wow, nice.
So a kraken shows up out of nowhere and threatens them. Took the two people that was there to help Red Sita get to her new place off of this rowboat and everything. You know, they get captured by this kraken. She just stayed there like, really? This is kind of worthless. You know, this is kind of worthless. This is just embarrassing type deal. So pretty much she's up here. It's like, okay, you know, the thing's hungry, about to do harm to these other two people. And she's like literally trying to talk to the kraken and trying to make it, you know, drop them without having to fight them. And then there's like getting the info. So she powers up her sword, pretty much attacks nonetheless here. Wasn't that much of a challenge. Pretty much dispatched them rather easily and everything. And you can see, you know, part of the tentacle going off is like, you know, say, you know, mercy and everything to that magnitude. And you can, after it's all said and done, look how she's on the bow of the boat. It's like, haha, it's like this was nothing, while the other two is just up there in the water, like just amazed. So they finally made, you know, the morning after, they finally made back to land and everything, to the destination that Sita needs to get to in the long run. And she bids them farewell and everything as they're kissing the ground because they're still alive because of her. So she's, you know, and even here she says she has a serious matter to attend to. So she goes through the back streets and everything, you know, people looking and everything, you know, telling her, you know, they're unhappy that she's here and this, that, and the other. And eventually she gets to this one temple. Inside the temple, there's a monk. And this monk is up here, you know, going through his morning rituals and everything. And then Sita shows up to talk to him. And Sita's getting all upset. It's like, why have you summoned me here? It's like, I never wanted to come back, you know, this fast and whatnot. And it's like, and he was like, I have to meet you. And it's up here, it's like, yeah, listen to me, this, that, and the other and everything. It's like, no, you don't understand. I'm your brother. I got information about our parents. And pretty much it ends on that cliffhanger about asking Sita, can she go out there and actually rescue them? So that's how the first issue ends. It's not really a cliffhanger, but it's more about a mystery that's about to open up, because again, Sita has been pretty much raised by Sonya. And now all of a sudden she gets messaged by a long lost brother, and now he's telling her that their parents may still be alive. Beginning of a mystery. So with that stated here, and considering the fact that Red Sita just came out just recently, I would say within like the last 2 weeks here, not even a good month. So it's been like 2 weeks. I would give Red Seat the number one. I would say an 8 out of 10. Reason why I give it 8 out of 10 is because it gave you an idea of her demeanor being separated from the main Red Sonja book. But at the same time, it's building her own lore. In addition to that, the ending of issue number one opens up the door to a greater mystery about who she really is and the possibility of playing to the effect about who is this person who's calling her sister, and is Sita's parents really truly alive after all of this? And by knowing this, how does this makes her as a character as a whole change? Because remember, she is the adopted daughter of Sonja, and we know how Red Sonja is. And Red Sonja is pretty much one that just doesn't follow information very well. I want to say information, but she doesn't follow word of mouth or trust word of mouth just that quickly. And with that being stated, it gives you a good idea of what to expect come issue 2 and 3 if you stay along the ride for that long. So that's the reason of my grade for 8 out of 10. And like I said, it's not, this book is recently came out. You still could get it at your local comic book shop rather cheaply here. I'm not saying if they're running short on copies here. I know for a fact, like this one here, that's a 1 in 10. So that's definitely going to be hard to get. But I think the cover A, which I have in my hand here, I think there's still enough of those around where you could get them pretty much for cover price. And that's my review for the week.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
See, well, first of all, Matthew McHale said he likes your intro music, and Booed Parallax for probably falling asleep. Well, he's been here for over 8 hours now. I
Been here
understand.
for 7 hours.
Yeah, really. And Carl loves Sarah, and Sarah loves Carl, and some things just make me cringe. Derp and protective is giving me a wrench. I know myself. That's why you got the wrench, girl. And she asked, did Red Sonja borrow Madonna's bra?
Red Sonja, that's not Red Sonja, that's Sita.
Yeah, that's
and no, it just looks that way. It's the design that makes it looks that way.
Yeah, be careful of those hands now. Anyway,
it's the Hyborian age, so if anything, Madonna stole it from her. So
exactly, well, that's what Donna says. Donna borrowed Red Sita's bra.
Yeah,
and Carl, of course, Carl Witzman has the question of the evening. Did someone mention Kraken?
That's a better look at what it really looks like. It's not really the same. I think Madonna's is way more pointier and obstructive.
Those could put out an eye, I'm telling you. Anyway, so with that, we now have
gold standard.
That means we have to put up the disclaimer for Clyde now. Here we go.
Oh no!
Yes,
I forgot what mine says. Let's see.
The erudite, well-reasoned, articulate viewpoint of Clyde Hall does not reflect those of the cast and crew of Comic Book Spectrum, but they should. So should yours.
Well, you know what? I got one heck of a review tonight. You're gonna love it. I guarantee. No.
Bring it on us.
First of all, let's look at some of the things that came out. I got an early Father's Day present, and happy Father's Day coming up this weekend to all the dads out there, or those fulfilling the role of dads for some young people. This is what Brian was talking about previously on here. It's the collected Captain Action series with extras. And I've got all the individual issues. They're not that hard to come by, really. But now I've got it all in one spot. So all I have to do is find my hardback tome, and I can refer to any of the cool Gil Kane artwork or the Jim Shooter storylines or the Wallace Woods art.
Does it fit in your spinner rack?
It does. Yeah, it's a good comic book size, so it fits right in there. So
easy access.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for that. And the comic book shop got this as a promotional, and so they let me have it. AWA has been putting out some interesting titles recently, and I think that they're really, and as I get more of their things and I see how they are developing, they're getting better. They were pretty good to start with, and they're really they've come up with some quality stuff in the last few months. Well, this is a Tribeca Festival special edition called Lesser Evils, and I have not read it yet. I've just kind of flipped through it. My local comic book shop is Colossus Comics and Games, so thank you guys for once again looking out for me and letting me peruse something that is unusual and new. But the blurb just kind of hooked me, and I think just after having leafed through it, I think it's going to be a really good read. Welcome to Brooklyn Through the Looking Glass, where a golem with benefits, a spiraling genie, a demon who feeds on bad vibes, and a promising young mermaid collide with heartbroken and hard-living, hype-obsessed humans. Lesser Evils is a hilarious, pop culture-filled universe that explores what intimacy, spite, selflessness, and friendship mean today. So I'm really looking forward to diving into that over the weekend. Nightmare Country from the Sandman Chronicles at DC, Town Called Terror 3, the new Captain America title, and again, I have not got to read most of the new books, but Sentinel of Liberty, I'm kind of looking forward to. It's a kind of it strikes me as sort of a national treasure story of the Shield, the making of the Shield. Quests Aside 2, the Dogs of London 2. I'm looking forward to following up with that from Aftershock. We had the second Savage Avengers, which I thought was even better than the first one. It's going places. This was a very interesting read, Where Starships Go to Die. This is an Aftershock book. Very, very, very disturbing science fiction that doesn't seem that far in the future. Well, that's why it's disturbing. But a really good first issue. Great premise to get everyone hooked into finding out what happens next. But my review tonight is it's for a charming tale. It's different than everybody else's books tonight, I think, for the most part. It's called After School #1, and it's a Skybound Image comic. It's $4.99. It's written by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. The art is by Greg Hinkle. The colors are by Giovanna Nero. Letters by Pat Brusso. And maturity level, it is rated M for mature. And while I write for various sites, this is my own independent feature. It should not be considered representing any views of those other sites or even the views of Comic Book Spectrum. I'm sorry?
Well, they should represent those.
Okay, yes. That's what I was saying at the bottom of the screen earlier. But this cover is just it's so charming. It just fits the story so well. It's Jason Sean Alexander. I just love this cover. Isn't it beautiful?
Nice.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah.
Very grabbing.
And it really tells you how, what you can expect from this read. Some samples. We have it's a girl and her dog story. It's a story of a girl and her dog. This is sweet. This is so sweet. Of course, there are some unexpected twists and turns in it. And then we end up with, sorry, I went too far here. Oh, yes. And some shocks and surprises, which are on the cover and they're in the preview, so it's not really giving too much away. But we have the dog, getting caught drinking coffee and smoking cigs, watching TV at night, and it's basically this is sort of like if John Carpenter's The Thing had a girl and her dog story, to which the girl finally ends up being the dog's defender. So yes, it is a strange combination for a horror type comic. Um, just look at this Jason Sean Alexander cover. It is fit for a perfect and endearing slice of life, girl and her dog bit of comic book escapism. But Nora's high school is a place of suffering for her. She is a student with a crushing confidence deficit. She's not a target of bullies and she's not being abused, but she just can't seem to focus effectively on tasks at hand. When she does, invariably, her efforts fail, despite the focus. Until her parents, observing how much she's struggling, present her with an emotional support dog named Janie. It's a game-changing moment for Nora because the duo become inseparable, and they are an unbeatable combination. Skills that Nora always wanted to have, but didn't think that she had any way to improve her performance. She suddenly becomes very proficient. Skills she didn't imagine that she could have, like playing soccer. She finds that she can do that too. It's a real confidence boost for her when Janie comes along. And Janie is the catalyst for all that change, that little bit of encouragement that sometimes makes all the difference in our lives. It's an uplifting story that'll fuzzy your blues and it'll warm the cockles of your heart just before it skins the fuzzy blues, and yanks them right out by the aorta as far as your cockles, respectively. Because After School #1 from Image Skybound marks the start of a new horror anthology series. And episode 1 is Nora's story entitled Spineless. All that's related regarding Nora and Janie is true. But in the blink of an interrupted slumber, the dynamic of their relationship changes when she finds Janie smoking a cigarette and making her own coffee and in the kitchen late at night when she thinks everybody's asleep watching television. Because Janie is not so much a dog as as she's wearing a dog. The creature underneath is an alien being, an exiled ruler of her realm, and she needs help getting home. This is where, Dora comes into the picture for the dog. The kind of help she needs requires making and then powering a device that is akin to the nature of technology in Janie's home dimension. And that means it's organic and it's a biotech kind of higher form of science that H.R. Geiger and fans of John Carpenter's The Thing would definitely appreciate, as you saw from some of the illustrations. After all, what better conduits for energy than yards and yards of purely organic wiring, like nervous systems and spines? The effort to get Jamie back home involves body horror elements that are unsettling, but also they underscore a Nora still finding her confidence and an eventual confrontation between Nora and a manipulative Machiavellian presence wrapped in a fleshly case of guts and sinew. It's a being that writers Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead liken to a favorite grandpa and Ed Gein and Walter White personality combination. And then all that wrapped into a form as appealing as, this is an indirect quote, but rotten octopus genitalia. And that kind of sums up the parts of the book that you shouldn't be eating lunch when you're reading it. So the writers, Benson and Moorhead, are independent filmmakers of renown, and their storytelling has a visual and a cinematic approach that readers can easily appreciate. They also admit in the afterword that many of their film themes and styles have stood upon the shoulders of the graphic novel masters that they've read and like. Grant Morrison, Neil Gaiman, Jeff Lemire, Alan Moore, and many others they mentioned by name. And this is their first time delving into the comics form themselves. They're deceptively and satisfyingly good at it. And so it's kind of a full circle thing. They've appreciated comics, they make films, and now they are making a very cinematic kind of comic book. Greg Hinkle's artwork, it sells this whole girl and her dog everyday heroes angle beautifully. And it's such a contrast to the Geiger-esque body horror and the dissection level dynamic of the alien visitors. It makes for a visually unsettling but over-the-top sensory overload. And it escapes being a mindless gore fest because Hinkle makes it smart gore, which fits this bizarre tale of two worlds because it's a gore with style and it has purpose. In addition to the balance of wholesome and gruesome contained in this first issue, there's a channeling of horror humor that is present. It is not dwelled on, but it's there, and you appreciate it. It's not exactly an Evil Dead exercise. It's not to that extent, but the book definitely has these moments. Giovanna Nairo's colors add to the ew factor, but she also keeps Nora's normal reality in a tight and neutrals mostly leash. Pat Brosseau's lettering, he does a very stylized look in this book, and even the word balloons and everything, there's like a dreamlike quality to both the everyday things of Nora's world and the alien things that are not of that world. And you wonder, could this be merely taking place in a young girl's mind? We could take comfort in that being the case, given what the story, how it evolves. But the two realities colliding as they do is nightmarish here, because owing a lot to Brosseau's lettering. And now the bad. The narrative speeds along handily, and its pacing is a strength. A few times, though, there's a skosh more detail would have helped. There's a character tracking the alien incursion, and he brushes over what he was before and what put him on the trail of the things beyond, and it just lacks a lot of detail. And it feels like he becomes like a plot device to speed the main characters along, but he's not very well thought out. His dimensions are lacking by the time that he serves his narrative purpose, and the glimpses we get are intriguing, but fleshing him out a little bit more, maybe just a few more panels would have increased investment in some of the things like that. And the writers also make the call not to expound or dwell on other elements of the narrative, but they just touch on them, and they infer that they're not central enough to the tale for further explanation. And that works for keeping a moderate pace going, but it feels a little bit incomplete with a few of the details and matters that they gloss over. It is also an anthology series, so we may not be experiencing these characters or encountering them in the future of the tales. We don't know for sure, but it seems like a pretty standalone issue, which some people will like and others will not like. But that is one of the reasons for the condensation of everything into this single issue, I think. They covered a lot of story in a very small space. The takeaway. Aftermath #1 in its first episode, Spineless, may not be the simple girl and her dog story that it seems when you first crack it open, but it could even be a David Cronenberg by way of Norman Rockwell, with Guy Rockwell Garnish's aberrant variant of a girl and her dog story. But in the end, it's also a story where a girl having difficulty believing in herself refuses to let even hellish, rotting bio-golems from another reality come between her and her dog. She takes up a bone saw and she plants her feet firmly to defend her canine companion while issuing an open challenge to all comers. And she's not Rocky. It's not that uplifting, but it is an underdog dog story about a girl and her dog with heart and horror. So my score for After School #1 is 7.5 spines out of 10.
Wow. There was some pretty vivid imagery in your review there.
I know.
I'm sitting there going, what?
I'm just amazed you said spines instead of vertebrae.
Well, they make, when you see some of the biotech that they're using, you have those conduits, to make a circuit, and they're shaped like spines to put, very still warm spines from dissected creatures, including two-legged and four-legged in them. So yeah, it's when I first cracked it open, now if you look at the cover closely, you can see that dog has blood all over it on the back part. It's subtle, but it is there. So, and it is, they have promoted this as it's a horror anthology, but when I first opened it, I'm like, where are we going with this? I mean, it's very nice, but here's where we're going with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But it was a really enjoyable read. Now, as a horror title, scary, not so much. Something that would fit like a Twilight Zone episode to be unnerving and kind of creepy. Yeah, I think so. So I know, Joe, a lot of times
more sci-fi than horror, because like I said, to me,
yeah.
Everybody claims that they write horror, but they don't.
Right.
It's horrible.
Well, I mean, like, they can combine. Like I mentioned Carpenter's The Thing because I think about that a lot. And they mentioned it as one of their inspirations for this, and it's both. It's definitely horrific, but it's sci-fi. So I would put this in that category, but a little heavier emphasis on the sci-fi. Although there's some imagery that will. I'm not kidding. I would not eat lunch again because I did today while I was trying to read it, and it's pretty intense. But
Won't be
I
doing that
enjoyed it.
anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no. And I'm really anxious to see what they do with the second issue and if any of the stories are linked together. So they set a good hook. We'll see how it goes from there. But it's one of the new Image titles that I really, really resonated with me. So
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you, Clyde.
yes, thank you.
Oh. Now we have some comments here. Earlier, Carl Whitson said Clyde was sounding like my mother's side of the family there. Matthew appreciates Joe's review. Thank you for that,
Not
Matthew.
a problem.
And Carl said, I knew that pets smoke our tobacco while we slept. Some of my cigars are missing. Yeah,
Yep,
see?
yeah.
Calvin's
Follow
not
up for
just
the
Calvin then.
Yeah, that's true. I'd frisk that cat if I were you. And Matthew McHale says, woohoo, a copy of Errantry is on my way to me. Excellent, Matthew. I think you're going to be really pleased. When you get that, Matthew, please come back here and tell us what you thought of it, okay? And we think the world of Ted Davies Artistry. Ted, good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a great day. Check out Drinking with the Davies tomorrow night, very early in the evening. And because he and Christine are going to be making what sound like orange
Popsicles.
creamsicles. Yeah,
Orange
popsicles.
creamsicle drinks. Ooh,
Yeah. Creamsicles.
Just we liking that. And anyway, everyone's saying hello to Ted as well. They should. And so we still got a little time here now. Now, Clyde, before the show, filled me in. We have lost a major talent.
Mm-hmm.
They're dropping like flies now. Neil Adams, George Perez, and Clyde.
And I made an observation to another friend about this death here, but I'm up here. I was like, is it really coincidence or is it something deeper going on here?
Good question. Good question. Oh, I did forget to mention. Pick up DC Comics this month for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 2-page spread. Honoring the late and amazing George Perez. There's some great talent on that page, and y'all need to pick up a copy of the DC comic this month, whether you like it or not. But make it Superman anyway. But yeah, what is it? Tim Sale, of the Bat books, The Long Good Night, and it wasn't the only one he's ever worked on, too.
Yeah, and Superman for All Seasons are the two
Superman
that I
for All Seasons, and I have him. What is he used to do some, I want to, not Myth Adventures, but what was it? He did something for some of the independents way back in the day, about 30 years ago.
He did a Superman focus with Darwin Cook.
Oh, that's right. And he's also done a number of things with Jeff Loeb, like
he's his main
a Hulk book, Captain America, usually revolving around colors.
Daredevil Yellow.
That's it. Daredevil Yellow is another one. Yeah. So
that was the thing that like I said, there was the observation. It seems like ever since DC made mention about changing the mythos of Superman to sell more books, we've seen a lot more of a loss of older creative talent that have actually worked on Batman. I was like, I'm wondering if there's a correlation there, because after that announcement, it just seems like everybody who's been working on Batman that established that character is just falling by the wayside.
So Joe has just announced that for all you conspiracy theorists out there, that DC is murdering the former talent that worked on Batman. So anyway, we just thought we'd put that out there, put that in the search arguments. We'll get some more viewers for this show, I know. But no, it's a good point. It's got to be a coincidence, because I can't think of any common bond, between a lot of these people, because like we lost Danny O'Neill a few years ago.
Right.
Neil Adams just recently passed away. Now we got Tim Sale.
I mean, people who have done iconic work for Batman is all of a sudden passing away.
Yeah.
And, there's a certain amount of psychology, maybe, looking at and Carl would know better, but a
And he does.
psychology of
See, he's got a clue.
Conspiracy.
He knows what this is.
But I
Thank you,
mean,
Carl.
there's when you have creators that are older like that, and they see what they have established kind of going by the wayside, and new versions and new takes taking over, it probably does have a psychological impact on, you kind of feel like yesterday's news.
Yeah.
That's not always good for some people's, if they're kind of in the balance, their health is perhaps already compromised, or they're getting older, but
Well, it just reminds me of this was several years ago, and it was right about the time Brian Michael Bendis was taking over the Superman books. And of course, they issued Action 1000, where Superman returned from that futuristic, the variation on the New 52 suit, and was now sporting the trunks and everything again. I was at Superman Celebration with John Bogdanove, who did like Man of Steel, Power Pack, and I can't remember who else was with him, but he held up a picture of the image of Superman with the trunks and said, "See, they're bringing back our Superman now." And I'm sure that to a lot of these creators, there is a certain amount of appropriation, for lack of a better word, that they feel a personal attachment to those creations. And I read a lot, and I've talked to a number of pros who will say, okay, I left that book, and when I did, I stopped reading it. Like I know I read somewhere that Chris Claremont didn't read too many of the mutant titles after he left those books, because he was so personally attached to them. And if he had his way, he'd have written each and every one of them. For a while, he was.
I believe that based upon my signing story, because I never see anybody politely ask, "I got to stop this lie. I have to read my book."
Wow.
And that was, like I said, from Defiant, Prudence and Caution, which I thought was like, okay, he just did this, and he literally stopped the line because he hadn't seen one in that many years. He stopped it, he opened it up, and he read it.
Interesting. And everyone's thinking unkind things about Chris, but anyway.
No, about me.
Oh, about you. Oh, I'm sorry.
About me, because it's like, they were looking like, who the hell are you, and what book did you give to him to sign?
Yeah, what's got him so possessed like that? Wow. So, yeah, that's interesting. And Rick Bradley, we're glad you joined us. Rick and his son Donovan do a great gaming show on Monday night called R&D Gaming on RAD Publishing, RAAD Publishing on YouTube. Please check it out. And Superman for All Seasons is one of my all-time favorite Superman stories, and a great one it was. Okay, or since Batman is the best-selling comic for DC, he has taken form. But since fandom is a bit rotten, so is this Batman, and he's going around taking them out. See? We're telling you the truth right now. And actually, DC probably foresaw that the old talent was getting older and thought they better change, says Carl Wisman. Well, DC, all the companies have a history of kind of like shuffling the talent around every now and then. I remember back in '68 when Mort Weisinger decided he wanted to spice up the his line of comics, and he got rid of Jim Mooney, who then became a Marvel mainstay for the next 30 years. Took him off of Supergirl, put Kurt Schaffenberger on there, put Jim Shooter on Supergirl and Superboy, or not Superboy, but Jimmy Olsen, put Irv Novick on Lois Lane. Just moved all the creative talent around, put Andrew and Esposito on Superman in Action. So yeah, change is the one constant in comics, and Matthew McHale mocks us with his laughter. Although some people can die from heartache. That could happen, Carl. I could see that. And damn, now I have an idea for another book. Rick, that means you're thinking like a writer. Well done, young man. Write it down while you remember it, okay? Well, we are sorry, and we extend our condolences to Tim Sale's family, and hope they find comfort in this trying time. But does anyone have any nice news?
Well, nice. Okay. Hey, Warner has come out. They announced that they're going to have a sequel to the Joker movie, and it's going to be a musical, and Lady Gaga will be playing Harley Quinn. So
That is good news. I like that.
Oh, you said good news. I'm sorry. I thought. Okay.
Oh no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
good news because I've been reading all the online commentary about that. People
It
are
has
losing
been
their
amusing.
minds, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I live for that sort of thing, you know.
Oh, I know good news. The Flash movie is in the can, and it's. Oh wait, no, that's not good.
We
either.
are really.
No,
I was gonna say,
the
Clyde.
Flash movie is made, but
Yeah,
the recent news about Ezra Miller,
Gee.
on the other hand, it's like,
Gee,
hey,
I
you
mean,
got this movie, we can't even show it
I
because
mean, is it possible? Because this is. I mean, I haven't followed it as closely as some, but I have looked this week. Every time I saw a casual headline, I'm like, oh my. So is it
now?
possible? Is it possible that they could have a movie that cost as much to make as a modern movie like that? That's going to be the linchpin for their multiverse? And either they're going to have to, I don't know, Henry Cavill mustache the TV Flash in this place, or just not release it, or what are they going to do?
I bet they release it because they've got so much money in it, and they can't afford to like put it out on just have it go straight to disc or streaming services. Although that thing gets snapped up,
I think it's going to get canned.
Okay.
I think it's a lost venture at this point, and if a certain person gets convicted, they're going to come.
Last I heard, they can't even find him to serve any warrants.
No, that's the latest worst. Well, not the last thing I saw was he was taunting authorities about how, he was in another dimension and they couldn't possibly catch him, and he was too smart for them. And somebody had made a joke about the next thing
he's actually earmarked on.
Yeah,
he went to the Speed Force.
Somebody had last week. They had said something like that. It's like now he will basically stay one step ahead of the authorities, and it'll become a real life comic book story. And today he's like, I was just kidding. He had a link to that story going, I had no idea. I was just kidding. But sometimes, truth just parallels the strangest fiction you can think of, or comedy. It becomes real.
Now, I can fix this whole situation. I can fix this.
Okay.
Okay, towards the end of the movie, suddenly the Flash stops, freeze frame. His friends look at him and it's like, what's happened to the Flash? Suddenly he blurs, he starts to shake. Lightning strikes, and when the smoke clears, it's Grant Gustin.
Grant Gustin. Well, yeah,
I have just saved your movie.
Yeah, and that's why I said, they're not above putting in or getting rid of doing digital chicanery that doesn't work. So if they were going to do the mustache thing for Superman, why don't they just Grant Gustin him, Grant Gustin, Ezra Miller out, and people will go, well, that looks kind of wonky, but at least it's him and not the other guy.
and then once he's in Sing Sing, then you put out the director's cut with the original in it. So
I don't know. To me, I would just do something, old school, storyboard directing tricks. Let Ezra Miller stay in the suit because nobody really going to pay too much attention because you got all the CG dealing with the suit and all the actions here. Just reshoot all the live action sequences with Grant Gustin and just be done with it.
Yeah. Or even better, a lady Flash, Amber Heard. She can use the word.
You said positive, so we can't talk about that here. So I'm about to say the last thing I heard about that with Amber Heard is she's not Mira, and they're thinking about recasting it, but her people and her agents are saying no. That's not what DC told us. DC told us we're moving forward, and they're not recasting Mira as of yet. But yet, you got a how do you say a test portion of that film that has already been viewed without her in it.
Yeah. That's some heavy right there. Anyway, Oh, Rick Bradley says, I posted a video earlier today talking about the MCU that almost was. The Incredible Hulk TV series was going to launch it with the TV movies they had with Thor and Daredevil, but I guess it just wasn't in the cards. Yeah, it's true. I remember that, the TV thing, that they were going to, because Marvel's doing great guns with TV, but then they ran into some problems. Like they had a Human Torch that was independent of the Fantastic Four that they wanted to release, but then the network chicken, I want to say it was ABC, but I could be wrong, but the network chickened out because they didn't want kids emulating someone who puts themselves on fire. Okay, and I guess it was going to be like Johnny Storm was an astronaut, and
also they wasn't going with not the android but Toro.
No, it was going to be Johnny Storm. But it was going to be basically the $6 million man, but instead of bionics, he now goes flame on. So,
so they're buying off of Larry Trainer from Doom Patrol.
Yes, exactly. So and there were a couple other Marvel things that they wanted to have done, but Doctor Strange, which I thought was pretty good, didn't get the reviews they wanted. But Rick Bradley says 3 million people want Bruce Campbell to replace her. And I read something about that a few days ago, that Bruce Campbell saw that and he tweeted, "Send me a script."
He would do it.
He would freaking do it. I would freaking pay to watch him. I don't
know, because he's going to be really busy doing the Sergeant Rock Army of Darkness matchup. 12. There's some good news. I can't wait to see this.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because I don't think some of the old war characters get a lot of love. Of course, the attitude towards military comics has changed dramatically, in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But I still think they got legs, and I'd love to see a regular Sergeant Rock book. So, and Carl Witzman, Hollywood is the usual cesspool. That's true. That's true. And Rick Bradley says it was NBC. Thank you very much.
I'm glad it didn't go through, because I'm still mad about the Wonder Woman pilot.
Which one? The
NBC one. The NBC one.
Oh yes, the one with Adrian Pilecki. I saw that. It's available online. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought.
It had problems. Which they could not fix it, and it would not appease fans of Wonder Woman as a whole, or grab new people.
Right. I would agree with that, although I am coming more and more to. In fact, I got into a little discussion with somebody in the comic shop this week. The comic book fans are such a small demographic, and we're not getting any bigger, really, because for however many we bring into the hobby, you have old geezers like me that are going to die at any minute. So, truth be told, we have less than a quarter of the number of shops that we did back in the heyday of comics in the 90s, when the speculation boom was on. But having said all that, I could see a show that can, if they, like the Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot. It captured the spirit of Wonder Woman. It captured the relationship with Steve Trevor. It had a decent story. And I agree with you, Joe. There were some parts that got really slow. David E. Kelly, that's who. Wasn't it David E. Kelly who wrote that?
Seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But who did the West Wing? I don't
remember because that's been a while back.
Yeah, but anyway, Pilecki did. I think she did an admirable job as one.
No, I did not have a problem with her acting.
Yeah.
I had a problem with the way that they wrote the series.
Yeah,
because they tried to do too many modern things to build that lore. I was like, you can't do that. It's like you have to understand. Diana will always and forever be a woman out of time, just like how Steve Rogers is.
Right.
It's just that she's able to blend a lot better than Steve.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Again, we have several different stories about, especially if you read Wonder Woman Black and Gold. There was a story about her outliving most of the people that she knew,
Which
and
they do
how
with
she
Superman
dealt
every
with
now and
that.
then. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was kind of like one of the things that's like, if people who are television producers and writers understood that aspect about her, it would be a lot easier to write for her for television, because you could write her in any generation or decade, because she's constantly adjusting, because she's not really attaching herself all that much to people. She respects them. She would go pay respects and everything to her close friends, but she also understands that she outlives them.
Yeah, that would be interesting to pursue. And I like the idea of a Wonder Woman that maybe not time hops like a Doctor Who, but maybe some shows are in the 40s, the next set are in the late 40s. That it moves forward all the time, and maybe reaches the current day or maybe even the future. But I like that aspect, Joe. I think that's pretty interesting. And Rick Bradley says also the channel that The Flash was on bought the contract for the Daredevil series because they didn't want competition. Okay.
All Wait, right. Which Flash series? Are we talking about the original CBS, or are we talking about CW?
I can only assume the original, to be honest.
And I don't think CBS would do that to buy Daredevil, because Daredevil was not, well, if we talk about the original Daredevil series from the spinoff of Incredible Hulk, because Incredible Hulk was originally a CBS TV series. So yeah, that could work.
That could work. Yeah. Cause the Rex Smith appearance. Yeah. From the movies. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. And of course, Carl Wiseman got us pegged. Holy crap, that went dark.
We try to talk about something positive, and it just happened to go that way.
It went.
But at least we're not talking about
it, Carl.
At least we're not talking about the awful pilot for Wonder Woman from the 1960s that was supposed to be akin to like the Batman and the Green Hornet type TV shows.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
Yeah, talk about missing it entirely. Go see it on YouTube. It is on YouTube. Look up the 1960s Wonder Woman pilot. It is.
There's only a little bit of it, thank goodness. But
yeah, it could have been more.
The whole thing was out there at one time. It was bad.
Yeah. Imagine Hippolyta as a stereotypical Jewish mother. Borscht Belt type humor. The Batgirl pilot is a lot better.
Yeah, the Batgirl pilot was a lot better, but it's like Diana needs a mirror to change.
And she's so delusional.
She's a lovesick 60s puppy. It was just like any man. It's like Hippolyta's just trying to marry her off. It's like, oh, you're too scrawny. You need to eat. It's like, Hippolyta won't say something like that. What in the world is?
Yeah.
And then it's like, why are you trying to inject Batman humor?
Yeah.
Because 1960s Batman was 1960s Batman.
Yes.
That was his own unique creature. And then we had Green Hornet, and that was the staple of Green Hornet. Green Hornet made fun of Batman because it was so jokey. It wasn't the fact that it wasn't a good series. It was jokey. We're the serious crime fighting show.
Right. And
they just tried to add that element of comedy into Wonder Woman, and it just fell flat.
Definitely. Although William Dozier, the producer of Batman and the Green Hornet, did do a pilot for Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It was more aligned with the Green Hornet in tone. It was a serious thing, but it honored all the stuff that Chet Gould did in the newspaper strip. Yep. So that one is worth watching. That one's worth catching. So, and Rick Bradley said, if only we could have Doc Saga meeting Wonder Woman, if only Warner's Call Me, or the original Flash. But when you have a bunch of suits that have never picked up a comic book, they try what they think works.
Well, That's the thing. I don't think they would do Justice Society, or at least the original Justice Society.
Yeah.
Where Jay Garrick and Diana was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the change that they did in Volume 2, they were saying that it wasn't Diana during the Justice Society side, it was Hippolyta as Wonder Woman during that time.
John Byrne did that, yeah. So even the comics don't get the comics right. So anyway, but at least they're being screwed up by experts. So
in the guise of fixing it.
Yeah.
No amateur screwing up will do. We must have professionals doing all the screwing up. So
that's and with the limited palette or limited toolbox of ways to fix things, because publishers or legal or marketing get involved, and oh no, you can't have this story, here's how you got to do it. Sean Howe wrote a very, very good book about Marvel Comics, leading up from the beginning all through like the time they get out of I think about 2015 or so, by the time they get out of the bankruptcy problem. And after a while, you get the distinct impression that editorial, it used to be that editorial did their thing, and then marketing and legal figured out how they could help out. And then somehow in the 80s, it turned around, did a complete 180 to where editorial is now in the service of legal and marketing. And that's why there is a distinct difference between the comics that Stan Lee put out or Roy Thomas back in the day and the stuff that was coming out after a certain time from Marvel with all the crossovers and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Rick Radley says he watched the first episode of Ms. Marvel the other night, and besides her powers being different, I like it so far.
I don't think it's how her powers came about is what I think going to throw a lot of people off.
Yeah, without the Terrigen mists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because again, it came from a accoutrement that she used for her costume, and we don't know the origin of that. It could still be inhuman.
Right. That's true.
But yet at the same time, it's like, why all of a sudden it unlocks her power. Right. And on top of that, why didn't her parents know about that bauble from being in the attic?
Right. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, though, moving forward, there's going to now be a generation that will be looking at Ms. Marvel, go to the comics, and say, that's not Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
She grows parts of her body. She embiggens. She shrinks. No, Ms. Marvel flies around like Brie, what's her name, and doesn't
Brie
do
Larson?
any of that. Pardon?
Brie Larson?
Yeah, Brie Larson. Thank you. Blanked out for a moment there, but that's not the Ms. Marvel. Just the way that Shang-Chi wasn't living like in San Francisco or wherever, and Fu Manchu is nowhere to be found, or the Yellow Claw, or whoever's his daddy this week. But anyway, that you're getting two distinct types of stories here, and I think that's what I've read that Kevin Feige wants to cut down on and bring the Marvel comics more in line with the movies, which we've had this discussion.
Well, again, that's that chicken or the egg type deal.
Yeah,
right.
Because again, you have years of stories, already established, but the writers for these movies don't want to use the source material, because why your audience is a way bigger than the comic book crowd, and that becomes a problem, especially for marketing.
Yep.
What they did for Ms. Marvel, I think, was the best way to deal with it, because again, you don't want people to think she's a Reed Richards per se, and you don't want to spend the money on CGI on that aspect. And the way that they did her powers, she has the embiggen and everything, but it's not really truly like her body's doing it. It's whatever aura that's coming from her body that is like when she extends it's like when she extends her hand, it's like the aura from her hand is literally extending from her hand and becomes bigger to catch people and do all this other stuff.
It's a lot more like a Green Lantern kind of power.
I see. Okay.
Projected hard light.
Right.
I think.
I can't. You can't really say if it's hard light or anything as of yet because they haven't really stated, but it comes off that way. It's like you say Green Lantern, and the first thing that came to my mind was Dr. Spectrum. Again, I was like, yeah. Yeah, it was like Marvel, me and Marvel, and my love for Squadron Supreme.
I hear you. Rick Bradley continues, and instead of elasticity, it's crystals when she uses her powers. And her mom looked at the bracelet when she first got the box and quickly told her it was junk and to leave it alone. Maybe they do know about it. Or maybe they don't want their underage daughter messing with other people's junk. But anyway, and Carl Westman says, someone like the recent Doctor Who scripts, who hit the series Bible? It's lonely being a Chris Chibnall fan these days, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. But I was excited, speaking of Doctor Who real fast. They are filming in the streets of Britain right now. Neil Patrick Harris is going to be the villain.
Yeah.
In the 60th anniversary Doctor Who episode. They've got confirmation David Tennant is reprising his role as the 10th Doctor, or for all we know, the 428th Doctor. Thank you, Chris Chibnall. And Donna Noble will be back, and so will Bernard Cribbins. He was just spotted today on the set. Wilf is coming back. That makes me happy.
Nice.
He was so good. He was so good in Doctor Who.
Neil Patrick Harris.
That's right.
Only thing I can think now is one of the most underrated actors there are, especially when it comes to voice acting. All because of the Music Maestro episode of Batman Brave and Bold.
Yeah, there we go. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. And a lot of the Doctor Who comics have been a lot of fun. Oh, here we go. Challenge accepted. It sounds like folks, it just sounds like I have kicked the lock off of Pandora's box here by accident.
And it's not that often that Carl gets that excited about a challenge either.
Yeah. I do have another.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
Quap has been called.
Yeah, Donna. Our thoughts and prayers go with you. May God bless you, because you're going to need it. May Thor be on your side, sister.
And may you be worthy. May you be worthy, ever worthy.
May you be worthy. Donna is worthy.
Ending on a good note, though. I got to look at a review copy of the trade paperback the Image is putting out called the Dark Room.
Okay.
I'm getting feedback. I can hear myself.
I can hear you too. Keep going. It's not bad. I can hear me now.
The Dark Room is a very much in the manner of the Dresden Files.
Okay.
And it's really, really that collection. And again, it's a trade paperback. It's coming out in hardback and I think softback in the next couple of weeks. But it's a really good read. It was one of the best previews that I have had a chance to look at lately. So I kind of wanted to put it out there. If you like the Dresden Files, I think you really appreciate it. It's good stuff.
Well, and I would like to add to that. One, I was very happy to do an independent comic tonight. And thank you again, Scott Rosema, for your being here, who was very pleased with his review. He was real happy. He didn't know what I was going to say. Of course, half the time I don't either. But anyway, I just got the package from the guys who were part of that Spencer's deal. We'll call it that. and their books just came in today. I have them in my possession, and they are beautifully printed. Yeah, seriously, good work, guys. Here in Illinois, or not here in Illinois, I'm in Indiana, but over there in Illinois. Yeah, it's really good stuff, and I'm really excited to read some of these because I've been hearing about some of the stories, and I'm really looking forward. And we'll probably have something to say about it next week. So anyway, finishing up. Oh, quap, says Donna Carly Carlene. And wasn't that what Barney said in How I Met Your Mother? Well done. Well played, Carl. And I'm still way behind on my Doctor Who. Thankfully, it's on Prime. Rick, good luck. Anyway, and Donna, yeah, like that's going to help. Thor has a strange sense of humor.
It's true. It's a good point. Yeah.
But I can tell that if Carl gets going, it's going to start being hammer time in that household. So anyway, so we got through another episode, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm not saying you remember how this.
Oh no! It's like that. Yeah. That's like how they say on Star Trek is like. The dilithium crystals, they are drain, Captain.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And knowing the size of my bladder, that thing will probably be filled pretty quickly. But anyway, what do you say, guys? That we close and Carl has declared that we had a good show. Thank you, Carl.
Thanks,
I appreciate you so much, and thank you and Donna and everyone here for making it so. We couldn't do half of what we do without you guys. And Rick Radley says, "Is that a makeshift hail pail?" Yes, this is the. From Rising Tide Industries, this is the brand new hail pail, and as you see, it has a convenient carrying handle, and you can also has increments so you can measure. So if you're setting like a personal best record when you're broadcasting, you can now do it with the Hail Pail 2000. Check it out from Rising Tide Industries. Operators are standing by, and
you know that all products sound better with 2000 at the end of it.
They do, yeah. It's that's why we put it on there. It's still the same old crappy plastic. But anyway, Carl says, time to go pester Joe Dog if the aliens didn't kidnap them. Carl, thank you for being here, man. I will see you in Peoria this coming Saturday from 10 till 4 at the Peoria Civic Center for the Indie Author Book Expo. Please get the Mad Gasser Cheerleader books from Carl and the new book Vacation from Donna Carly Carlene. Until next week, later, so Donna, thank you for being here, sweetheart. And Rick Bradley mocks us with his laughter. What else is new? So anyway, let's close this out for the night. And for anyone who thinks that just three of us couldn't carry a show for 2 hours, well,
heavy lifting is complete.
Yes, that's right. we know how to do this thing, and we are nearly packed for Peoria. Carl, good.
Nearly.
Nearly. Well, I've got Calgon packed. We did it this afternoon. It was the grueling half hour. Part of me said I should have waited until tomorrow, right after dawn, to do it. Instead, I got in the big metal van and did it half an hour at 2:00 this afternoon, which is why
after the piece of metal baked in the sun.
Oh,
hence. Anyway, yeah. So I come by it honestly. So anyway, definitely check out Joe Dog McKeel and his friends at Stupid O'Clock. Starting right now, it's 9:00 Eastern on Thursday nights, 11:00 on Saturday nights, and right after From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher on Saturday nights.
Hour into our show. They always start an hour in.
So they need
always
to watch.
Promote your friends.
Exactly. And don't forget Last Man Standing following each show.
The chat. Always promote your friends.
Oh, I'm going there. I'm getting there. And this Monday, watch R&D Gaming to see Donovan play the original Silent Hill.
Ooh, that's good.
Make him scream in terror.
It might drive him bonkers.
It'd be a short trip. He won't burn much gas. Believe me, he is the father's son. But anyway, let's close this out. We'll go Clyde, Joe, then me again, and thank you to everyone in the chat. We appreciate your being here, and to everyone watching on the rerun. Please leave us a comment down below because we'll try to answer it for you. So here we go. Starting us in the farewells is the one, the only Mr. Clyde Hall.
Hey, you say that the springtime is letting you down. You say that the trickle of nerdy goodness that you love, like The Boys and The Orville and Stranger Things and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ms. Marvel and the CW Super Shows and Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Umbrella Academy and The Sandman are just leaving you unfulfilled somehow, then you need to dive into the comic book pool deep end and cool down every Thursday night with Comic Book Spectrum. I'm Clyde Hall, and I'm an independent author and a contributing writer for a many splendid places. I do online comic reviews at Comics Bookcase, www.comicsbookcase.com, all one word, and at Doomrocket, www.doomrocket, all one word.com. I'm also a contributing writer at Stormgate Press, with work appearing in their, not just their anthology series, but their award-winning anthology series, Pulp Reality Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and soon number 4. Yeah, that's the seal. That's the official show's seal of approval, and number 4 is coming very soon. So, go to Amazon for those, or you can go to www.stormgatepress.com to see the full variety of new pulp publications that we have to offer. Also, look for my upcoming contribution to the 10th anniversary celebration for Charles F. Millhouse's Captain Hawkland series. It'll be coming down the pike very soon. I'm also collaborating on a pending project cover with our sponsor, Jeffrey Hayes of Plasma Fire Graphics. And I cannot wait to see what he's cooking up for me. He did this. He did the cover for Miss Marjorie miniseries or anthology series from Stormgate Press as well. And I love his work. He just does beautiful covers. So I can't wait to see what he and I can't wait to see the result of the conversations that he and I have exchanged. And tune in right here every Thursday night, and you'll catch me hanging out, lounging in the NCBD +1 riches like Uncle Scrooge McDuck, and keeping company with these fine rising tide broadcast network folk right here every week on Comic Book Spectrum.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Clyde. And now the one, the only Joe D. McPhee.
I still feel that Clyde needs his own show.
He's slumming. He's slumming. That's all there is to it.
He's like, oh, I'm too busy. It's like, no, you're not busy for a quick little 30-minute show or hour show.
Oh, yeah, like that's going to happen. You guys can't do that. You don't even have
I do 2 hours every week. What are you talking? Almost 2 hours every week. What are you talking about? I have not taken a day off.
If I started it, I would do what you guys do. It'd be 2 hours, 3 hours. 5. There's no 30-minute. No, that's not good.
I hate it when mom and dad fight. It's always the children.
The long story short of it, if you need to get in contact with me on any platform, the best place to do it is right here through that link tree that's on the screen. Link linktr.ee/Silbo. That'll get you in contact with me either via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, DeviantArt, you name it, it's probably there. And recently I added Reddit. I've been posting back to Reddit again. And just for those who are interested in everything, we're still got 4 days left on our Kickstarter here for Amazonia issue number 7. And if you've been keeping up on the score here, we finally got our proof copies in.
Yay!
Only thing that I was disappointed with is the actual Steph Curry version variant, because there got to be some fixing on the cover itself. But the interiors and stuff came out fine and everything. We just have to fix the covers because it's a little bit off. If I could zoom in, you could see how far off it is on the front and back covers by it, and it's almost like they didn't get the measurements just right here. So like I said, I have to double check on my end just to make certain that everything is up to snuff on that aspect here. But we're ready to go we're ready to go and tell the prayer to, go baby go once we get the money deposited and everything before we can get the physical books into your hands here. So just to refresh everybody's memory, that's the standard cover. That's the one that you could get for $8 on the campaign here. This is the one that, including the original standard cover, you could get the Victor Wilkins variant for 15. And when I say for 15, you're getting not just the Victor Wilkins cover, but you're getting both of them at the same time.
Nice.
The Daphne Lage version variant is, I believe that's 20. Let me check real quick. It's either 20 or 25. I believe it's 25. My mind says 25, but my mouth is saying 20.
Make it 22.50 and split the difference.
No, mine was right. 25. So it's not just 25 just for this book. It's 25 for both of them.
Cool.
And like I showed you before, we have the Steph Wilson, which is also 25, and it's really 25 for both.
Mm-hmm.
We do have catch-up tiers as well for the campaign. So if you missing, if you want to read all 7, you could get that tier for $35. So you get the standard covers for all 7 books, and that would be shipped to you directly here. So like I said, we're ready to rock and roll. Only thing that takes is you backing it. And like I said, we only have 4 days left, and coming this Saturday, we will be doing our countdown show here. And to be quite honest, that countdown show may only, for the campaign, may only be like 15 to 20 minutes. And campaign would be bye-bye. And we just do our wrap up and everything for the campaign and do a couple other things as far as reviews is concerned. And with that being stated, I'm going to hand it over to the, let's just say, the head of the household for the Rise of Tide Network, which is Brian K. Morris, and the leader of the flagship show of Nevermind the Furthermore, which you need to watch tomorrow because we got secrets to reveal. It's going to be better than the X-Files. It's going to be better than 2020. It's going to be better than Dateline. So you need to show up tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But don't take it from me. Take it from Brian K. Morris.
And I'll take it away. Thank you very much, Joe. I've got a lot to live up to tomorrow. Yes, definitely check us out tomorrow morning. Wherever you're watching us now, we will be on 10 o'clock, our usual time. Tomorrow we have a huge announcement that is very important, and I'm really excited about it. I really like everyone to show up. Please share this show with your friends and sign up and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment after we're done. Everything is appreciated. We do. But if you want to keep tabs on me, go to risingtide.pub. You can sign up for my free monthly newsletter. The next issue goes out July 1st, and it's going to be an exciting issue. Plus, currently we are writing a couple stories. We are working on the Terrors. You talk about Jeffrey Hayes by Django. There we go. There's another image of the Terrors by Jeffrey for a future book that we're doing. And he does incredible work. We're very proud to be working with him. He's a great collaborator. And he's also the sponsor, one of the sponsors of tonight's show. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Check out the Plasma Fire Graphics page on Facebook. Also check out Plasma Fire Graphics on the interwebs, and then ask about their independent creator-friendly pricing. You'll be astonished. They have all the graphics you need to sell your book or comic book. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And also, we are brought to you by Rising Tide Publications, who will be bringing you the Terrors later this year, working hard at, and we think you're going to be happy with it. And also want to thank our Patreon supporters whose contributions help keep this show on the air. And also, some of them have their own active Patreon pages, so please check out what they have to offer for your monthly subscription to their services. We have a blog that just dropped today. We do it twice a week, and next couple of days we're going to be for the $5 a month crowd. We're going to drop the first chapter of the new Volcana novel. I'm really excited to see what you think of that. But anyway, check out what we offer you for your financial support at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And I think that's pretty much it. And contrary to popular belief, there are tears in heaven. The tears of supporting the comic book goodness of Joe's Amazonia Kickstarter. That is true. That is beautiful. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this show. And we hope you go out to your local comic book shop or to the internets and get you some new comics. That's why we're here, to tell you what the good stuff is and to throw some things across the room. Anyway, we'll be back. Eric will be back next week, and we hope you have a great rest of your week. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone. We hope to see you in Peoria, Illinois at the Civic Center this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. Have a great one, everyone. We'll see you next week on Comic Book Spectrum.
Thank you for watching Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Please join us next week for another look at comics, past, present, and future. If you enjoyed this, please give the show a like and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. To receive our free monthly newsletter, go to www.risingtide.pub and be sure to give the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook a like in order to receive news about upcoming shows, including Clever Title Pending, Stupid O'Clock, Clever as Hail, Comics Chaos and Sass, Tidbits and Scribbles, the Historical Fencing Guild, and never mind the Furthermore. See you next week.